Unless you work at home or you're your own boss, we all have one, and it's inevitable that you won't always see eye to eye. Here today is Dr. Phil Greenwood with the UW-Madison School of Business to give us the 5 ways to win an argument with your boss. And I think this can even be daunting for some people to approach this kind of conversation. Is it important for people to stand up for themselves?
Oh, absolutely, especially if you're in an organization and you're dealing with somebody who's in a position of power. Yeah. How you handle it can have really long-term impact on your career, both positive or negative.
So we're going to go through 5 points. First, you say practice what you intend to say and be concise.
Absolutely. Be to the point. We actually recommend that people actually put together an agenda, just like you would going into a meeting, of the key points you want to talk about before you get into the argument. That keeps you focused, that keeps you very much on point, and it gives you the points that you want to discuss. You want to make sure your boss is listening to.
And that way you're not off topic and regretting it later, right?
Exactly, and practice it in front of a mirror. You know, look at your facial expressions, listen to your voice inflection, because that's what bosses will be looking at and listening to, especially if there's emotion involved.
Number 2, present it as either challenges or opportunities. What do you mean by that?
What we mean by that is don't call it a problem. Because the worst thing that can be considered by an employer and a boss is that you're a whiner. Mm-hmm. And so by presenting it as a challenge and an opportunity, that presents it more in a positive light, and it looks like you're trying to find solutions. And also, if we do find solutions, that everybody can grow from it. So it kind of keeps it on a positive outlook.
That's a really good point. Number 3, have data to support your argument.
Absolutely. Going in and just citing problems and not having any anecdotal examples or data or benefits, you know, that support your argument. Again, you get classified as a whiner or complaining employee, which a lot of managers don't like.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. I think you're right on. Number 4, no name calling. And this is one that I feel might be kind of, okay, yeah, we would guess that, but I bet it happens more than we think.
It happens all the time, especially when it's kind of an argument or a conflict. You know, emotions get in the way. And anytime emotions get in the way, especially if things aren't going the way people like, it can turn personal. The minute it turns personal, defense mechanisms take place. So at least from the employee's standpoint, keep it as we say, on the high road, and don't get into name calling. Don't make disparaging remarks about your employer, about your manager. That, you know, just makes it personal, and right about then you lose your argument.
That's
no matter
the
what.
thing, right? Then they're
it's
not
over.
Listening anyway, and you're not going to get it.
If they do it, let them do it. That's their issue.
The final point is you say make sure you allow some time for your boss to explain.
So many times we want to get our side of the story across, and we don't want to sit back and listen to what they have. Nice thing if you have an agenda, and especially if you give your boss kind of the bullet points of what you want to talk about, that gives them something that they have to respond to. And allow them some time to explain their position. Allow them some time to tell, you know, their side of the story. But more importantly, if they don't respond to it, then you can take a next, then you can take a next step. At least you've won that part of the argument.
Phil, thank you. Some great advice in there. We appreciate it. Good luck to all of you out there. We'll have a final look at the forecast after the break.